Coming up on Face for Radio.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can.
Are we cursed?
This recording's going to be substantially harder to edit.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
And it was. Welcome back to Face for Radio, the show where we edit our way through dodgy lockdown internet connections. And that is not a motto that I think will catch on anytime soon. Welcome to episode 6 and our final conversation about phobias. We know you guys have been really enjoying this topic, so please show this episode some love if you can. So sit back and relax as Reuben takes you through his phobias, the phobias of a world-class tennis player, and hear what our first guest on the show has to say for herself. Don't go anywhere, and I'll see you in a bit. Adios. Reuben, tell us your phobias or else.
Oh, good heavens. Okay, you want to hear my phobias?
Yes.
Oh, cool. I do have a phobia, and it does affect my life.
Whoa.
Real deep. Like, I have panic attacks and stuff because of it.
Okay.
I mean, that's not the only reason I have panic attacks. I have lots of reasons for panic attacks.
Can I take back my whoa reaction and make it a sad reaction?
No, that's fine. I'll take a whoa.
Aww.
Whoa!
Wow! I'm a theatre man. I can do this. So, my phobia that I have is sphexophobia.
Oh, I know this. Can I answer it, please?
Please.
Please.
Sam, do you want to guess first if Scott knows it?
Naff off. The one thing, Reuben, it's the one thing in this entire conversation, apart from phobophobia, that I've actually had a decent idea what it is.
Okay.
But still.
I was going to say banana phobia.
Tell me what it was again.
It's sphexophobia. I'm going to let Scott answer it because he's so excited.
Do I answer it? Is that what we're doing?
No.
No, let Scott answer it. He's so passionate.
Boo!
Now I'm second guessing. Right? Is it a fear of wasps?
It's a fear of wasps.
Yes.
Yay! How did you know that one, Scott?
I don't know. I think I've mentioned Reuben say he doesn't like wasps. So I thought it must be that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't really research this one properly because I wasn't sure if we'd get onto it. This is going to be like a backup one. All I've got written down is caused by wasps being that's all I've got.
For God's sake.
So,
Sam's
and it's true.
that then, right?
And an example is that's going to be funnier though, isn't it? If it's like caused by wasps being beep. So it's a branch of entomophobia, which is a fear of insects.
Okay.
And yeah, genuinely, I can't hack being near wasps. If I hear a fly, if I hear buzzing, I freak out in case it's a wasp.
Yeah.
Recently, well, I'm trying to. If you go all the way back to summer last year, my parents were in Anglesey, and I was in the kitchen. I was about to feed the cat. I went through to where the cat's bowl is and stuff, and there was a wasp there. I dropped the cat's food, and I ran out of the house.
Oh dear. A cat's a cat.
A cat is a cat, and that wasp was a wasp. And then I ran upstairs, and there was another wasp in the bathroom, and I was like nearly crying. It was horrible. And then I rang up my parents, and I was like, "How do I do?" I'm getting a bit like, oh. And then I rang my parents, and I was like, "How do I deal with a wasp being in here?" And they were like, "Well, we've got a can of Raid wasp killer somewhere." And I was like, "Where is it?" And they were like, "In the utility room." And I was like, "That's where the wasp is."
How did you run up the stairs after you ran out the house?
I ran out the house, sort of had a breather, and I was like, right, okay, I'm going to go back into the house. I'll check upstairs to see if there's like wasp repellent up there. I'm not sure if it was the same wasp, because then when I opened the door to the utility room, the wasp was no longer in there. So it might be the same one had headed up to the bathroom.
Oh, Reuben, I've got a story for you.
Have you?
I've got 2 stories for you, actually.
Go on then.
Sam planted the wasp in your house.
Sam, if that's true, I will actually kill you.
So, okay, well, if we want 3 stories, then the first one is that I planted it in your house.
Cool.
And I hate to say this, but also, like, if there was, like, 2 wasps in your house, there's probably, like, a nest, and it's probably in your bedroom.
No.
The first story is, my memory is playing tricks on me, and I can't remember entirely who. I think it might have been my uncle once swallowed a wasp because it had landed in his drink, and he didn't realise. And it, like, stung all the way down his throat and into his stomach.
Oh.
That was the whole story. And then the second story was, so last week I was in the Lake District with Caitlin.
Mm-hmm.
Were you?
And we were walking next to Derwent Water. and we were just walking through a field, and we decided we'd have a break and stop and sit on one of there's like a boulder type thing next to the path.
Yeah.
So we like perched on it, sat down to have a drink, and I started hearing this buzzing, which now I'm guessing would trigger you a lot. But you know when you hear a buzz and you kind of just like move away from it and like waft, and it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one didn't, and it was like the same volume, and I couldn't understand, and I like moved either way, and it was still there, and I was like, Caitlin, is there like a wasp flying around me? And turned around, and this wasp had sat in my fringe.
Oh my god!
Like my hair dangling over my ear, and basically what I think is it had got stuck in my hair wax, and it was just like sitting hovering over my ear. I was like, nope, and just sprinted, and Caitlin like followed me with the bags.
I'd recommend wearing less hair wax.
No, the thing is though, I don't even wear a lot of hair wax, like at all.
Sam, when you sprinted, did you run out the house, then run back up the stairs? And then run back?
I don't even wear a lot of hair wax. It was just there, and it like as soon as I ran, it like blew out because I run so fast.
If a wasp can get stuck in it, it's still quite a lot of hair wax, though.
I don't think it was actually stuck in it. I think it just liked the smell, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
What smell is your hair wax?
It smells like hair wax, Scott.
Yeah, I'm just thinking some hair waxes do have scents in them, so I thought maybe the wasp could have been attracted to the scent that you have.
It smells. If I had to describe it, well, it's a little sweet.
Yeah, that's probably why they might have been attracted to it.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my stories about wasps. I hope you enjoyed them.
I didn't. It's wasps. Oh my god! Oh, nah, wasps.
So Reuben, back to your phobias.
No, yeah, I'm trying to think now of what might have caused my phobia of wasps. We've been talking about it, and we had a Wendy house outside, like a little wooden house outside in the garden.
Oh, here comes the classic story. Everyone has this.
What?
And there was a wasp nest in it.
Yeah. Yes.
In the upstairs.
Mine was my shed.
I saw the wasps crawling around in it, and it was horrible.
Oh, awful.
I had a wasp nest in we've got an air raid shelter in the garden, and it was one hanging up in there, so that was scary.
Why?
Why what?
Are you expecting any air raids?
No, because we live in a very, very old house. I think it was built just before one of the wars.
One of the wars.
Okay, cool.
So we've still got an air raid shelter. We've got like it's made of brick.
That's very cool.
So it was used as like an outhouse, but it was used as one of the air raid shelters during the war.
Yeah.
Instead of having a metal one, so we still got it there. We use it for storage now.
That's so cool.
It's all right, to be honest.
So is it underground? It's like buried?
It's like it looks like a garage, but it's really old inside and all that.
I thought you meant like one that they used to cover in soil. Like that would be awesome.
What, a bunker?
Yeah, an air raid shelter.
No, it's not one of them. Not one of them.
No, it's like a building one.
Indeed.
Okay.
So that's wasps. Just reading up on it now, it's wild. Yeah, this is what I have when it comes to the wasps.
Hey Reuben.
Yeah.
What's the first phobia that you actually researched?
The first one I actually researched. This is more fun. This is called anatidaephobia.
Say that again. Anatidaephobia.
Anatidaephobia.
Okay. Sam, what do you think?
Anatidaephobia. I've heard of this.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. I don't think.
Yes, it's quite a popular, obscure one.
Is it crazy?
Yeah, it's really crazy.
I want to say it's got something to do with ducks.
You would be correct.
Is it a fear of like a duck looking at you or something like that, or just being near you?
It is. It's the fear that you are constantly being watched by a duck or goose.
Get lost. Sorry, how the hell did I go from saying I don't know what that is to Sam suggesting that?
Google.
And immediately you're like, wait a second.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, granted they've got like beady little eyes, but also ducks and geese have the solid potential to be quite aggressive, seemingly needlessly. So like if a duck comes at you as a child, not only is it potentially going to have a bit of a nip at you, the flapping of the wings and the size.
Scott?
Yeah?
Have you ever had a goose hiss at you?
A goose hiss?
Like, have you ever had a goose hiss at you?
Like on campus, the Canada geese.
But not necessarily hiss. They've made a noise in my direction.
What noise?
I'm not doing an impression, Sam.
Oh, please.
Not after the lizard person.
Not after lizard. I've learned from.
Please, Scott, please.
Right, Sam. I've already said long sleeve trousers. I've already said the Welsh town name. Can you give me a break, please?
What was that Welsh town name?
Oh, no, not again. We're not doing that again. Oh, my God.
Land of geese. I don't know.
Land of geese. Excellent. So who suffers from this then?
There wasn't much generally, like, children will have encountered a goose or a duck, and maybe they will have wandered too close to its ducklings or goslings or something, and the mama goose or duck will have tried to protect the young and, like, made itself big with the wings and, like, made a loud noise at it, and because children are scared of loud noises, that will then have created a fear of ducks.
Okay.
It's a territorial thing that the ducks do then.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's further than just a fear of ducks. It's the fear that it's watching you. So it's the fear that you've upset this duck, and now they're after you, and they're just. I don't even know if it's a fear of a duck watching you in, like, a malicious way. I think it's just that a duck's looking at you, but, like, all the time.
Like the big duck in the sky.
Yeah, or like there's like you could look out a window and this duck could just be like looking at you.
Okay, that is pretty scary, to be fair.
Yeah, like, if it happened, you would be terrified.
Yeah.
I think the reason that we would say it's irrational is because it's unlikely that you're going to look out the window at, like, 3 a.m. and there's just going to be a duck perched there with a wasp nest in its beak.
Is this fear specific for ducks, or is it animals in general?
It's ducks and geese, is what the specific fear is.
I've heard that some people only, like, first establish this fear because the ducks commonly do that on a full moon.
Ah, yes, it's mixed in with the selenophobia.
I mean, it's very creepy when you see a duck or a goose in a shopping trolley in a canal.
I mean, that's more likely.
Or wearing long sleeve trousers.
Long sleeve trousers on a duck.
in the long Welsh town. It's like,
Okay.
A long Welsh town.
Is that a good band name or not? Duck in long sleeve trousers.
I think that might be my new EP. Yeah, so ducks watching you. It's the thing that got the reason that I chose this one is that it's not just a fear of ducks, which, you know, is fair enough. It's the fear that somewhere a duck is not about to attack you, not, like, doing anything aggressive, just looking.
And what could be worse?
And what could be worse than a duck? Where's the Yeah, so it says what might be a laughing matter to people is not so to someone who's phobic. Anatophobia is one such phobia. A person suffering from this condition feels that somewhere in the world, a duck or a goose is watching them. Not attacking or touching, simply watching.
It doesn't even have to be at their window. Like, It could be a duck in China. It's just, like, watching you over here.
It's just watching you, yeah. The idea that, like, it's looking at you.
It's incredibly specific. I'll give it that.
It is. I like that. I like specific. And yeah, it's because with it being a fear of being watched as well, maybe just a duck's not even, like, gone to protect its young or anything. It's just looked the wrong way at someone and they have therefore developed a fear that, like, affects them in day-to-day life.
The thing is, though, as well, like, this is so oddly specific that for it to have, like, a searchable Google page, it must have happened to more than one person.
When I was looking at which phobias I wanted to talk about, I went on fearof.net, which has a list of the 100 top phobias.
Okay.
And fear of ducks, or fear of being watched by ducks, is number 51.
Wow.
Really?
It's surprisingly high. It's above sharks. Like,
It's above sharks.
It's above sharks. It's in between. Above it is a fear of buttons, and below it is the fear of fire.
Really?
Yeah. It's scarier than fire, moths, general animals, ghosts, horses, the fear of pain.
So hang on. So what you're telling us is the fear of being looked at by a duck or being watched by a duck is more common than a fear of fire and pain.
According to this website.
The world is a weird place, isn't it?
The world is.
And as we know, everything you read on the internet is true.
Yeah, absolutely. As it's like, you know, I don't have any proof of this.
But what is it that triggers it off? Like, is it obviously like in the past ones we've talked about? Each fear, most of the fears have had some level of post-traumatic stress involved with them.
I presume at some point a duck has watched them.
Yeah, being watched by a duck and it's just really stuck with you is all that I can think of for it. It's like just the fear of being constantly watched by a duck. And there we go. That's anatophobia.
Very good. Very good. Well, not very good, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah. Next is taphophobia. I'm going to go with taphophobia. Not tapas.
Taphophobia.
Taphophobia.
I know this one, I think.
Scott, do you want to guess first then?
Taphophobia. Some reason when I hear the word taff, some reason I think like fabrics or something like that. So is it something to do with fabric?
So much, you reckon?
This is the fear of being buried alive, right?
It's the fear of being buried alive.
So it's nothing to do with fabric, right?
Nothing to do with fabric. Well, there could be fabric on the inside of a coffin. There are a couple of things that I liked about this one. Well, not liked, but found interesting about this one. Taphos is the Greek word for a grave. So it's the idea that you've been buried alive because people thought you were dead, and then you wake up in the coffin and can't get out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, it's the only reason it's irrational is because it's unlikely. Again.
Phobia worthy.
Yeah. What I found interesting about this one is George Washington had really bad taphophobia. He was convinced, particularly when he was getting older and he'd given up the presidency to John Adams and he'd gone home, he was convinced that he was going to be buried alive.
Yikes.
And it was like a whole thing for him. Same with Hans Christian Andersen, who wrote The Little Mermaid originally. And Tom Thumb, he was convinced that he was going to get buried alive and he was terrified of it.
I mean, I understand that fear because that would freak me out.
Yeah, it's
one thing to be freaked out, though, and it's another thing to actively be, convinced it's going to happen to you.
It's scary, the thought, but for it to be a phobia, for it to be so consuming that it affects someone's life in that way, gets me.
Can I ask, when you say buried alive, does it matter to the extent? Like, if you're on a beach, for example, and you're lying in the sand and your mates cover you with sand to look like you're buried, does that class under this, or does it involve literally being put in a coffin and then covered up, if that makes sense?
When I was reading up on it, it said it was the fear of being buried 6 feet underground and not being able to get out, but it could potentially be triggered by that, yeah, I suppose. Someone being buried, at the beach. You bury your dad.
I know it's not a great example, but it's just just trying to figure out what would trigger something like that off in the first place.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine it was something like that. There was a lot of, particularly in Victorian times, there was a lot of discussion of people being raised from the dead, and there were stories of people being buried and then waking up and not being able to get out as horror stories, which therefore caused a huge surge in taphophobia.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
These are just some things that I find fascinating.
You find being buried alive fascinating, do you, Reuben?
I find the idea that George Washington specifically was convinced he was going to get buried alive when he fought in wars.
Do you want to hear a fun fact, guys?
Go on.
Did you know that George Washington actually wrote the musical Company?
Ah, no way. And he enjoyed being alive. Is that where that came from?
Well, he enjoyed being buried alive.
So I've got George Washington to blame then.
I don't understand why you hate Company so much, Scott.
Oh, it's just boring. Sorry, but
you're just boring.
Wow, that was a bit personal.
Yeah, I thought so.
Sorry, Stephen Sondheim.
Oh,
shout out to Stephen Sondheim if he's listening.
That was funnier than the rest of them.
I enjoyed that one.
Just anytime someone's name gets mentioned, you know what's going to be said straight after. Shout out to George Washington if he's listening.
That's a bit far-fetched, mind.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, but Stephen Sondheim's really likely to be watching this. Sorry, listening.
More likely than George Washington.
No, only by a bit, though.
I mean...
A bit.
A bit meaning one's alive.
One is alive.
Next.
Next.
Sam, you sound like the worst audition panel on the planet. Next.
Thank you.
Well,
Next.
one thing that I was particularly, again, fascinated by, Rafael Nadal?
Not personally.
I do know him, yes.
The tennis player. You're familiar with his work. He's a Spanish tennis player.
Yeah.
Of course.
He suffers from a number of phobias, and among them...
Losing at Wimbledon, losing at the French Open.
Would you like me to read you out? It's 8 different phobias that Rafael Nadal has.
Go on.
I would love to hear all of them.
Try and figure out what they are. So, he has an irrational fear, which is astrophobia. What do you think that is?
Fear of asteroids?
Sam, what do you reckon?
Something to do with space?
Sort of. It's a fear of thunder and lightning.
That's a rational fear, I'd say. Some people get struck.
Yeah, I'd say it's common enough.
Yeah, you know, it stems from, I'd imagine, this fear of loud noises that we have as baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as well, like, if you're linking back to mythology and stuff, like,
Yeah,
the tales of thunderstorms, there is plenty of them.
Yeah.
Zeus getting angry and smiting people was like
Yeah.
a big thing.
Yeah.
Next is cynophobia, which is CYNO, cynophobia.
Well, I think sinuses. So is it a phobia of something to do with your sinuses or something like that? Like blowing your nose or something? Something weird like that?
So much, I reckon.
Well, the start is, it's like Greek. Is it Greek or Latin? It's Greek usually
Yeah,
at
it's
the
usually
start.
Greek.
Yeah.
Sino. No, I'm drawing a blank on this one.
Cynophobia is a fear of dogs.
Oh, I was very far off.
Cyno was Greek for dog. Well, you know, your sinus is in your nose, and dogs smell good, don't they? Well, they don't smell good, but they smell well. They're good at smelling.
Reuben, you think dogs smell good? That's a little weird.
Next up, see if you can get this one. Arachnophobia.
Spiders.
Hey!
Spiders.
Oh, spiders! It's spiders!
Yeah, I'm scared of spiders.
I've really got being scared of spiders. I think because they're dead little. I'm just like, yeah, you know, it's right. Then again, wasps.
Just spiders in general, I can't stand. They literally paralyse me with fear.
Oh, no way.
Paralyzed.
I mean, if I see a spider in my room, I can't. I'm literally frozen to the spot.
That's a symptom of the phobia.
Maybe you have it.
It'd be like because I feel like if I turn away from a spider and I turn back and it's gone, I don't know where it is now. I could be lying in bed and it could be crawling across my face.
That does happen with things when you turn
Oh.
around and they're not there, that you don't know where they are.
I know, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the scary bit.
That is the scary bit. It's alright when you can see it, but if it vanishes, you're like, is it going to crawl on my neck?
So, like, Scott, if we were, like, having a sleepover and you'd rolled over and then, like, 10 minutes later you rolled back over and I was gone,
Yeah, that would panic me.
but would you be paralysed with fear?
Well, no, because you're not a spider. You've not got 8 legs.
You can't tell me what I am.
Sorry, if you identify as a spider, Sam, in 2020, you can identify as a spider.
I might.
You never know, and we would love you all the same.
Well, you wouldn't, because Scott hates spiders.
I'd be standoffish at best.
Well, yes, Scott wouldn't, but I would. Scott would be paralysed with fear.
So, Rafael Nadal has arachnophobia. He's also scared of thunder and dogs.
He's also got corcoranophobia, which is a fear of helicopters.
Fear of well, just don't go near a helicopter then.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's easy
You
if you're
can't
one of us, but
sometimes.
he's Rafael Nadal.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't help it if a helicopter comes to you.
That is true.
Fair.
He also has cyclophobia,
Bikes?
Fear of bikes.
bikes.
Hey.
He has.
Yeah!
Yes, Sam, well done.
Why is he scared of bikes?
It doesn't explain why. It just says that he has them.
What is it? Is it falling off them, or is it the momentum of them, or like?
Sorry, Rubes. What time does he normally get fed and what do I need to give him?
5 o'clock, one of the sashes behind the bin.
Sasha's behind the bin.
Sorry, guys.
Hello?
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 Hi.
Hi, are you okay?
Yes? Is Reuben there?
Reuben?
That was me, sorry, and then my internet went. Yes, he has cyclophobia and motorcyclophobia.
Excellent. Do you know one for quad bikes?
I'd assume quad cyclophobia.
I have that.
Do you?
There's
That's
no
understandable.
surprise with
Yeah.
that, Sam, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Aye.
feel that. I feel that would make sense for you.
It's a very understandable phobia for you.
Yes, because I got hit by a quad bike, remember?
Yeah, we remember.
Yeah, we remember that time.
How many episodes did it take for that to come up? 6.
Yeah.
6. Episode 6.
Quite proud of myself.
You've done well.
Congratulations.
I am proud of you for that, Sam.
Nadal also has acluophobia.
That's what, sorry?
Aclua.
Acluophobia. I've never heard it called this.
I've not got a clue what that is.
I see aqua and I think water.
It's aclua rather than aqua. He's got acluophobia, which I'm used to knowing as nyctophobia, which is a fear of the dark. And he also has thalassophobia, which is a fear of the ocean.
Reuben, you're breaking up again, mate.
I'm like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. Connection issues.
We'll just let him get these facts out on his end, Scott.
Can you? I have got my facts out. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up more than like a bad relationship.
Okay, gang, I've got a plan. We're going to take a leaf out of X-Men books, and we're just going to go from acluophobia, and we'll just say it's like a shift in the universe and the timeline, and I promise you, not a single person will even notice that we've done it.
Brilliant.
And like from that point, if we do like just go on as if nothing's happened. We could even reuse jokes if we want to. And not a single person will know. And if they do, then confirm this person. That's all I have to say on this matter.
Acluophobia is fear of the dark.
Wow, I didn't have a clue what that was.
I didn't.
And thalassophobia is a fear of the ocean.
Okay. The ocean's pretty scary.
And he has all 8 of them.
That's a lot of phobias for one man to handle.
It's a lot of phobias for one man to handle.
And be like tennis champion.
Yeah, and he's still dead good at his tennis.
Yeah, you'd think with all that on his mind, he might be a bit sidetracked.
You'd imagine so, but now he copes very well. Rafael Nadal overcoming all of his phobias to become a tennis superstar. How sweet. And he lives with his parents.
Brilliant.
Isn't that nice?
Shout out to Rafael Nadal.
So, boys, I have a couple of phobias.
Oh,
Okay.
And I also picked one out that I think Scott might have.
sure.
Oh dear. Okay.
Well, my first actual legitimate phobia is, I probably will pronounce this wrong, trypanophobia.
Oh, is it the fear of random holes or something like that?
No.
No.
What am I thinking of then?
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. It is
Yeah.
trypophobia rather than trypanophobia.
That's near enough.
No, trypanophobia I'm pretty sure is needles.
It is needles and injections.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
I cannot... Like, even watching, like, in films when someone, like, injects themselves with something, I cannot. I have to look away.
You cannot.
You can.
Like, even, like, thinking about it now it's giving me goosebumps.
Oh man, that's sad.
You know what's even sadder?
What?
My dream holiday is to go and see the pyramids and the Sphinx in Egypt.
You need
Oh yeah, you got to get jabs for that.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do that since I was tiny, and you have to have so many jabs, and I just don't think I'll be able to do it.
What if they knocked you out first with like morphine?
I mean, yeah, that'd be alright. You tried that gas and air stuff? That's really awesome.
Yeah, we love Little Shop.
Sam, is it the fear of the look of a needle, or the impression that the needle gives on your arm?
Everything.
Because like anytime I get an injection done, I always look away from the needle and I don't notice it.
I look away, but then you know when you feel that sting?
Yeah.
Then the image comes into my mind of it like going into the skin. And oh no, let's move away from that.
Absolutely.
I have another phobia that I only developed as of like 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
And it's called herpetophobia. Herpetophobia.
Well, Scott, do you want to go first? I feel like it's not going to be a fear of her pets, but herpetology is amphibians and snakes and stuff like that.
Reuben, you gave me this phobia.
I gave you this phobia. Oh, because lizard people.
It's a fear of reptiles.
Yeah.
And just to put that on you, I don't actually have this phobia, guys. It was just for a jest.
Okay.
But I do have one that Scott might have.
Sure. Is it submechanophobia?
Right. Let me guess before you even say it.
Okay, go on then.
Right, is it the fear of talking to women?
No, wait. There is actually one.
The fear of being rejected. The fear of not knowing what's going on.
It's not any of them, Scott.
Is it not?
Aphanphosmphobia is the fear of physical intimacy.
Oh, I've not got that fear. It's just. Is it a genuine? Is it a genuine thing that you think I might be scared of, or is it just in jest?
A little bit of both.
Oh God! All right.
I think you might be scared of it in an official capacity, but also not on a Scott on a night out capacity.
Scotty C?
Is it to do with like bouncers?
It's called chorophobia.
Chorophobia.
It's the fear of dancing.
Oh yeah, fair. Okay. I mean, I can do the drunk dance at a wedding.
I really enjoyed the word chorophobia, and I wish I'd known it 3 years ago when we started to learn about jazz dance technique.
Yeah, I think I've had that fear for a long time. I can't. I've just ripped into myself there by making jokes about can't talk to women.
I know. I wasn't.
Yeah, we've
about
absolutely
that.
shredded Scott for no reason.
I shredded myself.
So that pretty much wraps us up.
There we go.
In terms of phobias, that was a really good chat, guys. I feel like I've learnt a lot. I feel like I've had fun, and I feel like the most important part, we've bullied Scott a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is always the most fun part.
Why have I agreed to that? We bully Scott. Yay! Yes, lads. Well, high five. I love you guys. It's just like,
Aw, thanks, Scott.
Oh, goals.
that was in jest.
Wow, okay.
Rude.
You bullied me.
So, I've been having a little thinky.
Oh god, it's a new theme, isn't it?
Yeah, is it going to be next week?
Hey, drum roll.
And I was thinking that one of your suggestions, Scott,
Oh god.
might be a good one.
Right.
And I think that I will assign for the next little 3-parter of podcasts from us is going to be about unpopular opinions.
Ooh, I'm not sure I have any.
A little more personal, and if you feel like you don't have enough to talk about, then we can just talk about other people's.
Yeah, alright.
Because that's what we do best.
You know, there's this guy called David Icke.
Can I make a suggestion though?
Please do.
Can we not make them to do with political stuff or proper serious topics?
Yeah, can it be like foods and stuff like that?
Like, oh, I think this TV show is overrated, for example.
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of talking about, oh, lizard people are real.
Well, I mean, that was pretty funny.
That's the height of
Yeah,
politics
that
for you,
was
isn't
funny,
it, Scott?
yeah, but I have a lot about lizard people.
The thing is, though, if I turned up and was like, hey guys, my unpopular opinion is that I think lizard people are real, then we'd literally just be remaking podcast 1.
Yeah.
No, I think... So here's how it'll work slightly differently, okay? So each of us, we can say, like, during this the next week, let each other know about what our unpopular opinion is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have to go into any details. Like, say, for example, like, Scott, one of your examples is, I like this TV series which is famously bad, okay?
Yeah.
That's all you need to say. The other two can then do a bit of research and find out for themselves why that isn't an actual unpopular opinion. That way, the conversation is going to have knowledge on you're silly for thinking that's good, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because I feel like without having someone there to with the same sort of agreement as the majority, it'll be less of a debate and
It'll be a roast.
it'll be a roast, and that way we can actually see how persuasive the person is when talking about their unpopular opinion.
Yeah, can do.
Yeah, works for me.
Fine by me.
Okay. Well, in that case, that wraps us up here today. I hope that everyone has enjoyed us rambling on about phobias and has perhaps, for the first time on the podcast, learnt something?
Ooh.
I won't go that far.
Maybe not.
You've learnt that I can say the Welsh town. That's all.
We've learnt that Scott has a phobia of shopping trolleys.
Right, hang on.
We've got submerged shopping trolleys.
Backtrack a bit, Sam.
We've learnt that when Scott was younger, he used to wear long-sleeved trousers.
Long sleeve trousers.
And we've also learnt that Reuben is terrified that a duck is watching him at all times. This is a mighty farewell from Scott Copeland.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.
And this is a half-hearted goodbye from Reuben Austin, the cyborg.
In a bit. Do you like that? That's how Liam Gallagher ended his set at Glastonbury last year.
Bye. See you, suckers.
And as usual, it's not goodbye from me. This is see you later on the next episode of Face for Radio. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya. Hello all, back again to see you off. I hope you enjoyed our final episode about phobias. It's been a blast and I know a lot of you have been enjoying it, so thank you for all your feedback as usual. If you have found your way through the conversation despite the clunkiness of the internet and do have some complaints for us, you know as well as I do there is only one man to blame, and that's Mr. David Icke. I can't wait to see you for our next chat about unpopular opinions on the next episode of Face for Radio. Bye guys.